Welcome everyone! I hope everyone is doing well today. In the last episode of this series, we have covered the Valorant protocol, and today we'll be covering the first agent that joined. We'll be covering Brimstone, our favorite controller smoker. Hell yes! So here's a quick rundown of his character. He comes from the USA. He's a human. His name is Liam Barn. As we know from last episode, he's the agent number 1, and his role on the battlefield is to be a controller, using his smokes, etc. From the sky. It rains upon us. And people from the protocol refer to him as Sarge/Brimstone. It is his call sign, if you will. So Brimstone joined alongside Viper, who's the agent number 2, for anyone that doesn't know. A lot of the agents refer to him as an old dog. They see him as a father figure, especially Killjoy. We will see why later on, and he's very keen to hire new agents, which is really cool because we can always use new people in the protocol, you know, new agents, new abilities. It's very exciting. Brimstone uses technology to dominate the battlefield. For example, his satellite-based smoke, using his little bracelet on his arm. His bracelet and the grenade launcher were designed by Killjoy, which is very interesting, considering that he knew her since she was a child. Maybe that's why she designed it for him. Okay, now we'll move on to the Kingdom Corporation. So it basically, the overview of it is that it's a greedy corporation of Valorant that wants a lot of Radiant all to themselves, and they make a lot of equipment. For example, the spike and the diffuser. We might do a separate episode on them as well in the future when more information comes out, because for now there's not a lot of information to cover it, so we'll see. What is very interesting is that we can see Kingdom's logo on Brimstone's suit and his bracelet, because as we later discovered, he once was a commander at KSEC, which is the Kingdom Security satellite-based private militarized security division. So he served there. Brimstone is the typical dad boomer. People laugh at him because he sometimes gets locked out of his bracelet because he forgets his password, as we all do sometimes. But hey, especially Killjoy, judging by her voice lines, which we'll hear later on when we will be talking about the relationships of Brimstone with other agents. Brimstone is 45 to 50 years old, and considering, this is weird, considering that the game takes place in 2050, it would make him a millennial or younger, which means that he did grow up with devices and technology. So it's a bit weird that he's struggling using his bracelet and that he gets locked out in the protocol, but we will look over that. There's an interesting theory as well, which devs did not confirm nor deny about Brimstone's friend. So it's a mystery friend. We don't really know anything about that, but essentially Brimstone had a childhood friend, and in his play card you can see him carrying his body, like here, over the battlefield. So they must have been pretty close. So Brimstone has a strong relationship with his friend, and KO has a strong tie with Brimstone, right? So that could imply that KO is the friend of Brimstone from the future, switched to a robot's body. What are your thoughts on that? That's quite interesting, actually. Another interesting little Easter egg, if you will, is that under the range in the game, Brimstone has his little office, and it contains some images as shown right now on the screen of him with his childhood friend, and then of a picture from when he was a firefighter. A lot of people are saying that on this picture where he's a firefighter, he's standing next to his friend from his childhood. Now we'll move on to my favorite topic, Brimstone's fashion.
Pay attention, might learn something.
So he wears an orange, which is, by the way, the color of joy and creativity, beret with a patch which has 2 V symbols on it. He has a metal breastplate with number 01, obviously referring to him being the first agent to join the protocol. And then his left strap of armor features a plate with Kingdom's logo. And then finally, his left shoulder plate is stamped with the Valorant Protocol logo because he's in the Valorant Protocol. Hell yes! Now we'll move on to Brimstone's relationships with other agents. So, for example, when it comes to Viper, the second agent that joined the protocol, she usually calls our poor Brimmy an old man, as you can judge by the voice line.
Don't tell me what to do, old man. Someone will die, no matter how fancy our strategy.
Killjoy. Okay, with Killjoy views Brimstone as a role model. That could be because they had a close relationship since she was a very young child. And therefore, Brim's values and morals certainly transferred to Killjoy's life. So he clearly had a big influence on her, considering that she also wanted to join the protocol to fight alongside him. She has also developed his bracelet and his fire gun, the molly thing. Moving on to Silva and Brimstone's relationship, they care for each other very much, considering the voice lines that we can hear in game. So Silva listens and follows Brim's lead.
At your command, Brimstone.
And Brimstone tells Silva to take care of himself.
Silva, you look after yourself. You already lost an eye for us. One's enough.
Moving on to Sage and Brimstone. Sage and Brimstone have a close friendship. They have created a strong sense of trust in each other over the years of serving together in the protocol, as we can judge from this voice line.
Remember, Brimstone, if anything happens to you, I'll take the lead.
Reyna does not like Brimstone at all, but she does respect him as a leader, as we can hear.
Brimstone, if you must leave, then leave well. Where do we go?
Breach and Brimstone, so they have very opposing views and perspectives on many things, most things in general, but they are still able to work things out when it's necessary.
It could be worse, Brimstone. Instead of working together, we could be facing off. Or maybe you'd prefer that.
KO has an extremely strong connection with Brimstone, referring to him as a superior friend. He always talks highly of him, which shows that our theory could be true in some respect.
Brimstone, I'd hug you, but it would kill you. I'm serious. No hugs.
And lastly, the Chamber. For some reason, Brimstone thinks that Chamber is a little bit sussy. We don't really know why, but he does.
Please, Brimstone, I'm your key to the other side. You should at least pretend to like me.
And that's gonna be it for Brimstone's lore, actually. In the next episode, however, we'll be covering Viper, and I hope you have a good day. Also check me out on Twitch.